Okay, welcome to Perth. Pretty wet Perth, to be honest. I came out to do a video just a moment ago and it was absolutely chucking it down, but I think we got a little bit of a respite, so I thought, I don't know where I'm going, I've just landed, but I thought we'd go on a little walk and welcome you all back to the channel. I've touched down in Australia ahead of the Lions tour. I'll be honest, I was hoping for like some incredible blue skies, sunny, give you that sort of backdrop, but actually it's pretty grey here. It's warm, but it's pretty grey. But I've landed, literally just dropped my bags at the hotel, and now I thought I'd come for a little bit of a walk, see what's happening, and also I didn't really want to sit in my hotel because I didn't sleep that much on the plane, so we'd probably just be battling to stay awake. But I'm here on the ground for the Lions Tour 2025. I'm so excited about the next 7 weeks. So I'm going to be here for TalkSport, and I'm going to be kind of their reporter on the ground, I suppose. So getting interviews with coaches and players, post-match, beforehand, in the week, trying to do a few bits and bobs. I'm hoping tomorrow I might be able to go and see the Western Force, speak to Nick Dolly and kind of get their view on things ahead of the match in a couple of, well, not even a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, so I just thought I'd kind of talk through a few things. Tell you what, let's go this way. Can I go across here? Don't know what this massive green space is. There's like no one around. It's pretty soaked, to be honest. Hope you don't get feet wet. Yeah, so a few things really, I suppose, I wanted to speak about. Firstly, if you didn't realise already, I'm going to be here for the full Lions tour, absolutely buzzing about it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing, like the video, all that sort of stuff. And I thought I could use this video to just kind of tee things up really with like where we stand. So the Lions playing in Ireland, in Dublin against Argentina on Friday. They then fly out, they arrive in Perth here on Sunday. And then it's all systems go from there really. I'm going to do a separate video about the game in Dublin, because it's kind of an interesting talking point, I suppose, of whether the Lions should play that game, whether they should just be a touring team, the fact that it's so close to the end of the domestic season that, you know, whether it really works with having players absent. So I'll do a separate video on all that. I think now that I've touched down here in Australia, one thing I'm really interested to get a bit of a vibe in, by the way, I think you can see that's the CBD in the background behind me, and you won't be able to see it, but Optus is somewhere in that direction. I went past it in the taxi on the way here. But yeah, something I'm really intrigued to get a view on, a feel for, I suppose, is the state of rugby in Australia and kind of how important this Lions tour, and as well, I suppose, the World Cups, the couple of World Cups, the men's and the women's they have coming up over the next few years, for the sport in the country. Like, I remember the Lions tour in 2013, it was kind of like a Wallabies side that wasn't quite as good as they had previously been, and the narrative was it was a real opportunity for the Lions. And as we all know, we find ourselves here 12 years later, and it's been a pretty tough decade for the Wallabies. The Lions are heavy favourites. I wonder if we could see a 3-0. I hope not. I hope we get a compelling test series and that it's more competitive than people think, which I think it will be. Ultimately, you want it to go down to the third test, don't you? Like, that third test, if the series is already wrapped up, is never really as exciting, as engaging. And we haven't had that since 2009, that Springbok series. It's starting to rain again. I'm going to get soaked again in a minute. I think Australia will be more competitive. Speaking to the customs official at the airport, I said, people aware of like how big a thing is this of the Lions? Said, oh no, it is, but you know, at the moment it's all state of origin. It's actually state of origin in Perth tonight, which I'm really annoyed at myself I didn't realise, because I'd have tried to find some way, beg, borrow, steal to get me into that game to a state of origin, which would have been wicked. So I'm intrigued as to where rugby is in Australia, how important this series is for the Wallabies, and then what the Lions are going to look like. I mean, what an opportunity, right? What an opportunity to be a winning test side. Last time that happened was 2013 in Australia. And it doesn't happen all that often. which it shouldn't, by the way. The Test series should always be a real challenge for the Lions. It should never be something that's easy for them to come over and get a team together and win. If that does happen, then the viability of Australia as a place to tour will be a question mark, but maybe we'll get to that. We'll get to that later down the line. I'm getting absolutely soaked here. Yeah, it's due to rain all day, and I spotted about a 4-minute window, which has expired, I think, by the looks of things. So yeah, hopefully I'll do a few more bits and bobs kind of out and about, get around the different cities I'm going to be in, do things that kind of, you know, you're not going to see anywhere else. That's the general plan anyway. We will see how it goes. And I might leave it there for this video. I'll pick it back up in a short while when I'm not getting absolutely soaked. That's probably a better idea. Yeah, well, I tried to get out and about for you. Back in my hotel room here. So this is, I was walking around out there and it just got to the point where I was getting absolutely soaked. I suppose the point of the video though was a kind of, I'm here, I'm in Australia, let's get into it. As I mentioned just now, what are the Wallabies going to look like? Huge for the sport in the country. And I suppose what are the Lions going to look like as well? I think that's the other intriguing thing of this. We'll see it for the first time on Friday when we see the team selection, some combinations. Yes, I would imagine aren't going to be with a lot of the kind of Bath and Leinster players. We'll see what team that they name. What do the Lions look like and how are the Wallabies going to hurt them? And vice versa as well. All those sorts of narratives and discussions and analysis building up to the Test series. I can't wait to get into all of it. So I thought I'd just do this one final bit just to say, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment down below, and thanks for watching.